It's Mikey and Bill. Welcome to the farm. We're so glad to have y'all with us today. We have experienced a problem in our garden, and we want to take y'all along with us today. We're going to check the muscadine vines, see if we have any harvest off of them, and show you our problem up in the garden. So as we take a ride up to the muscadine vine area, wanted to give y'all a quick peek at the driveway, and it looks like it held up pretty good. We've got a place right there that needs to be filled in a little bit, but that tropical storm that came through did not do as much damage as we were afraid of on the driveway, so it held up really good. So as you can see, we're up here at the muscadines. We're gonna do a quick run through of those and see what we got on them this year. So these muscadine vines, y'all, have a little bit of history behind them. These are the ones that hubby's grandfather put up here, and they've been here for years, a long time. And as y'all can see when we're walking through, some of the posts and the wiring needs to be redone to help hold them up, and that's something that is on hubby's to-do list. Amongst anything, all the rest of the to-do list, right? So he's already got a pretty big project ahead of him, so y'all make sure that y'all hang around and be looking for that video, because we have quite a few chickens and plenty more being hatched out, and we have got to make a bigger chicken coop. So hubby is going to be constructing a new chicken coop. Y'all make sure y'all watch out for that video upcoming. But you know, these muscadine vines behind us, y'all, they've always you know, supplied plenty of muscadines. Like I said, I was able to make some jelly last year out of them, and if there's not necessarily enough for jelly or wine making, there's always quite a few to eat. So as y'all can see, the vines look a little bare because I've already come through and picked some, but I wanted to show y'all we have both varieties. If you can see, there's a little one still back there. We have the dark ones, we have the golden ones as well, and so they're both really good. And hubby's got a little tiny one. They didn't get as big this year as they normally do. And something's already got a hold of it. And
yeah, usually these things are pretty big.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Yeah, I think
so. These are some, y'all, not very many left over that I picked the other day because I've eaten quite a few of them. But they do get a pretty good size on them.
Yeah.
And
so when I prune the vines back this year, I think I'll throw a little bit of fertilizer down for them to have for the fall, and let them be building themselves back up for next year after I prune them.
When it gets colder months, in February is usually when we come up and trim the vines. I'm not sure what your area would be. So if you have any type of grapevines or muscadine vines, y'all, you might want to check in your area when a good time to trim them back, because you don't want to do it when it's still warm, because once you start cutting those vines, you don't want them to bleed to death. So ours are usually trimmed back in the colder months of February. So that's when they'll get trimmed back. I always get excited. Muscadine season. Always. It's always exciting to see them.
Kind of like hunting Easter eggs.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like an early Christmas. Because I love muscadines. I could eat a whole basket or bucket full of them myself. Hubby laughs at me all the time because he's like, I don't see how you can eat that many muscadines, or scuffadines as they're referred to as well, different varieties too.
Yeah.
But he laughs and is surprised at how many I can eat by myself.
Yeah, I don't really like them that much. I like the jellies made out of them. It's kind of like one of them things, kind of like with her with the okra. She likes okra, I don't.
Hubby likes stuff with sugar. He likes his chocolate and his sugar.
Yeah, now when the plums come right now, you'll find me over there up under the plum tree riding around on the lawnmower, cutting grass or something, eating handfuls of plums.
And I like my natural sugars. That's what I like. But for me, honestly, y'all, I think hubby's favorite ones are the golden ones. But I like the dark ones. I just love the flavor and the texture of the darker ones a lot better, but I'll eat both of them.
Yeah, I'll eat the gold ones now. But we do got to get up here and redo these vines and stuff. This year was the first year, last year was the first year that I actually got up here and really cut them back. And now I'm going to have to redo some of the fence wire when I cut them back and put some new posts up and stuff. But
yeah, they were getting so leggy and long. They were actually growing up into the cedar tree right there.
Yeah,
so
you can actually see the vines hanging right there. They was all the way up in the top of the cedar tree. You can see the vines going up, all the way up in the top of the cedar tree. And we have muscadines way up in the top of the cedar tree.
Yeah, and that's what happens when our elders get older and they're unable to really come out and do stuff like this. And, you know, when you have family that doesn't live close by or people that can help out. So if you have your family close by or neighbors that are up in age and elderly, see if there's things like this that you can help them out with, because it's hard for them to get out and to be able to care for things like this. And you know, muscadine vines or scuffenine vines do need to be clipped back and pruned every year, so they don't end up so overgrown like that. So
yeah. And like most people, when I was younger, I helped my granddaddy a little bit in here, but not very much. Of course, when I heard the word pruning all these muscadine vines, because let me tell you, it's a chore sitting out here for what, 2 or 3 days. Right. Clip all these little runners and stuff.
Yeah,
and
all this stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
Every runner that you see on here has to be trimmed back, and it is very time consuming and a lot of work to come out. But hubby did a really good job pruning them back a lot last year, so a lot more manageable. But as you can see, this has been here for so long, and we've got to replace the post, and y'all can see how old this wire is. I mean, this wire and these posts have been here since Poppy put these here. So
yeah, they're old. They're at least 45 years old, at least. And he got these muscadine vines from a friend. They're actually a very rare variety. They're not the ones that most people grow, the little ones. These are big. I'm talking about up in the about hickory nut size, some of them. And when you fertilize them and do them like they're supposed to be.
Right. And this year, you know, our viewers probably don't understand because we ended up getting really small ones.
That's normal.
Year.
That's like a normal size right there. And these
are usually the size that these vines produce.
And this is the size that you buy
at a grocery store or something. They're usually small, but yeah, they produce really, really big size usually. But I think we ended up with the smaller ones a lot this year too, just simply because of the long drought season that we had at the beginning of the year had a big effect on it this year.
Yeah, so I'll come out here and cut these back, and like I say, put some fertilizer, some slow release fertilizer around them, and try to get some of them staked back up and replace the poles. And I do need to root some of them and get them to, because a few of them have actually died and they're gone. Like I'll show you a spot down here. See, coming up on the right down here, that vine just completely died. So I think, and this is a pretty decent one here. I was actually fortunate enough this year, I'll show you when we get up there, some of these runners had actually grown down on the ground and actually had taken root. And if you look up there, you'll see one up there. So that's a whole new muscadine vine coming up. Excuse me, the phone's focusing. A whole new muscadine vine coming up. But I need to get a couple of these rooted. And I think we're going to start a whole nother pasture of them across the driveway over there.
Another orchard up there.
Yeah, another orchard of them. Excuse me, pasture. What else?
We're not feeding livestock with these now. We're only feeding your wife with these.
Yeah, we're only feeding the
not
wife
the
with
cows.
these. The cows don't get these. If they got over here, Brownie actually might get a spanking out of that.
Yeah.
If he come over here and started eating
I love my brownie, but I ain't sharing my muscadines with brownie.
What else was we deciding that we was gonna maybe start on the other side? Oh, some grapes. We might actually try our hand at planting a couple of there's a good one. Might actually try our hand at planting a couple of grapevines and see if we can get some grapes, because I've never thought about growing grapes out here, but my mom actually bought a golden grape and planted it in her yard, and she actually had some grapes on it this year. So might be something for us to try.
Yeah, something different. It's always good to at least try
That one ripe or
something, and you know, kind of just like with our corn, you know, and doing stuff like this is a learning process, and the only way honestly to learn is to actually get in there and physically do it.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Whether it be a good outcome or a mistake, because even if it comes up and something's wrong, you figure out what the problem is and you correct it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I want to do with these, because y'all, these things are usually bowed down to the ground with muscadines on it when Poppy had them. So I need to figure out what. You can see some of these vines. I mean, these vines are old, some of them are big around as my arm and bigger. They're good vines, really good vines. And you used to get like the clusters like this right here. This big clusters hanging down. Some of those, they might be ready, some of those.
They're not quite, they're still green.
Yeah, I see one or two in that row.
Yeah, these are still not quite ripe, because you want them a pretty gold, but I mean, they're still edible.
Yeah.
And they can stand to ripen up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because they still got, you can see some green on them. Okay, y'all, the upper garden, as we call it. Y'all can see the okra is starting to die back. I've already come through and pulled up some of our okra plants. That one needs to come up. But we still got
okra all
we
over
still
it.
got a couple of them that is just still producing some okra on it. So we're going to just leave this for now, let it finish out. And these are some Amelia tomatoes. We're going to leave these. They're getting some tomatoes on them and still have some blooms. But y'all, over there, you can see, I think those tomatoes are about on their last leg. We've already started pulling up some of the cherry tomato plants, and probably going to come in here and start pulling out a lot of those. All that rain that we had, seriously, let me get across the vine over here. You can see all that rain that we had just made them split open, and way too much water at one time, and that's what happened. So, but our bell pepper plants, they're still doing pretty good and producing, as y'all can see. And the jalapeno plant, oh my gosh, that thing is still loaded, and we've gotten a ton off of that already this year. So
you got banana peppers over here, they're coming out.
Yeah, the banana peppers are doing really good. Let me get back around here.
This in here.
Yeah, there's one right there. So they're coming up really good. So, I mean, the stuff like this that is still producing, and there's some lima beans, and they're doing really good. I've been getting some off, and they're still producing. So stuff like this, y'all, we're just gonna leave out here and let it finish out. But y'all see, again, all that rain that we had up in this garden, and all the weeds and grass coming back up. And there's our sweet potato vine. We'll be coming up here soon and checking all that. But I was up here, was it yesterday, hubby?
Day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday, y'all. And out here just getting the weeds off from around the plants as much as possible. And on the ones that are definitely still producing. These are all of our beans coming up. And I think they're a little yellowed from all the rain that we had. So we're probably going to come out and get a little bit of fertilizer on those. Maybe put a little bit of calcium on them. The tomato tone, garden tone calcium. And that's good to fertilize your vegetables with. So, but as y'all can see, I made a pretty good hit down through this section all the way down. And y'all can see I still got my work cut out for me getting in through here. But we are so close to the end of this summer season that I think we're pretty much just going to let what's in here
do what it needs to do, and that's about it. We do have over here we have a bunch of eggplants.
Right.
They're actually doing really good.
Yeah, the eggplants are doing good still.
Yeah.
So, but
like she's saying, the grass and stuff like that, we'll kind of pick anything big or something like that, but we're going to probably wait until the end of the growing season and pull all this stuff up. And then what we'll do is come in here and turn this garden over and get it ready for the fall, or we might let this garden sit for this year and utilize the garden down there.
So, now for the problem. Okay, y'all, so I came out here and I was so excited because all of our beans, you can see, we have an abundance of beans.
Yeah, they're loaded.
However, I came out here one day, y'all, and I don't know if we've got a couple more. Hubby ended up having to spray, and we do not like using any type of pesticides or anything like that on our garden area at all. We have what is called Japanese beetles, and I don't know if y'all can see them or not.
Yeah, they fly off as soon as you touch the vine.
Yeah.
They look like little,
here's one right here.
they look like ladybugs.
There's one right there. Can y'all see it moving around?
There, yeah. They look like little ladybugs. That's it. Right there.
Yep.
And they are boring holes
Inside the peas.
In the peas.
Let me see if I can show. I'm not sure if I can, if this would have one in it or not. But y'all, they're getting in, and of course they're laying their eggs. And I was absolutely devastated whenever I was shelling these peas to find little larvae and where they had made holes in the beans. So we ended up,
yeah, they got in the butter beans and everything and had little holes in them and little tiny worms.
And for some reason, y'all, it's only hit down here in this garden, and thankfully it has not gotten to our watermelon vine. It seems that they are only interested in the pole beans, in the black eyed peas. and the green beans, string beans, and our lima beans that we have planted here. I have not seen any in our upper garden at all, thankfully. So I've just been harvesting what beans we have up there while we can. But the thing about it is, we still do have a few of them. There were hundreds, I mean hundreds upon hundreds on these plants, and it just seemed like they came overnight, because I check the garden very often, daily, I think.
Yeah, let me see. See where they burrow into the pea and then make the peas absolutely useless. And we couldn't figure out what they were at first, and then she was shelling a bowl full of the peas, and then she started noticing the little worms,
The larva
inside moving around inside the peas that she was hulling.
Yeah.
So they have, and like she said, there was hundreds and hundreds on each plant. We came out here and sprayed them, and it seemed to got rid of them, but there's a few of them back.
I came out here with a bucket of water with some dish soap in it, and just kind of tried to shake the bushes, and several of them fell into the water, and the suds from the soap keeps them stuck in there so they can't fly off.
Yeah, you
but
did a good job with that, though, because I'm serious, that bucket had at least about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of dead bugs in it.
A lot. So I was that aggravated. Hubby was on the way to the store to go buy the spray that they recommended, and I was bound and determined that I was going to come out here and try to correct the problem without having to use any type of pesticides on the bean plants.
Yeah.
But as I was shaking, I would get several in the bucket and several would fly off, and it was just so many of them, and there was no way I could get all of them.
Yeah.
So the spray, like he said, has helped tremendously, because it was just like overnight.
Yeah.
And these things just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and
it's bad.
Yeah, they get really, really bad. So if you don't get them under control quickly.
Yeah.
And
they smell, honestly, like a stink bug.
Yeah, they do have an odor to them. But this is the problem, y'all, that we did have up here in this garden area. And so
I'm not going to spray it again, because I told her there's not enough time in the growing season for us to get 21 more days. So I don't want to spray them, because I want to take these and just give them to the cows and let the cows eat them. And I don't want to spray herbicide or pesticides on them before the cows eat them.
Yeah,
so,
and if you have any chickens, the chickens will definitely eat the Japanese beetles. But
they'll eat your tomatoes and your...
Yeah, I'm not going to let the chickens in my garden to eat everything else too. So anyway,
they'll help themselves to everything.
You know, that's just part of it. And we're, like he said, we're getting at the end of the season, and we are going to start looking into getting ready for our fall season. So I'm looking forward to getting some cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower.
Planting onions again.
So anyway, we're going to be preparing for that now.
Yeah. Take these and give them to the cows and the goats. Red light them. I think everybody's down in the lower pasture right now. Only person up here, I think, Candy. And she hadn't seen me. She hadn't seen me throw anything over, so.
There's that buddy right there. Say, hey, everybody, look at me.
Hey,
he's healed up and doing so good.
He's done took over the barn.
Say, hey, Shep. You tell all your fans, hey? Tell them you're doing much better. Yes. So he is out and about and patrolling and doing his job again, and he is loving it.
Yeah.
Aren't you, bud? He's too busy itching. Shepherd, what you doing, bud? What you doing? You enjoy being out and patrolling, don't you, bud? Yeah, y'all can tell, right? He's stretching. It's during the day, so this is when he naps. so he can stay up at night. He is such a good boy.
He is. He's a spoiled marshmallow.
But
that's what I call him, a marshmallow.
You come out here any time of the night, and he is up and walking this fence line. I'm telling you, he does a good job. He does a good job. You're a good boy, Shepherd. As unfortunate as it was for us to have ran into this problem this year, I am still looking forward to starting all over again in our fall season and getting our gardens ready for summer season next year. It's just exciting. And even with this problem, y'all, it was a new learning experience. And you're always learning new things when you take on homesteading and gardening and farming and raising livestock. So y'all, this old city girl right here has learned an awful lot of raising livestock and gardening this year. And, you know, running into problems with beetles and life on the farm and new births and taking care of newly hatched chickens. We've had baby goats born.
You're definitely a chicken expert by now.
Yes, I feel like it. You know, Lacey was born here, our heifer calf, and you know, just being able to see and experience life on the farm and all of its pluses and minuses makes it so worth it. So worth it. Yeah. And we appreciate y'all coming along with us today. If y'all have had any problems with your gardens this year, such as pests, Japanese beetles, squash bugs, all of the above or none of the above, leave us a comment below and let us know how you did this year with your gardens and how your harvest turned out for you. We hope all of you are safe out there. Y'all take care. God bless. Y'all come back and see us soon.
God bless.